I used to be on fire for God. I used to sing in so many choirs for God. I had desires for God. Desires that couldn't just be quenched by just the word. You see, I had questions. And each time I got that answer, this answer gave birth to more questions. Questions like, if God is really Jesus, then why didn't John 3:16 say, for God so loved the world that he came to die? But I later understood that that will mean him contradicting the office of God the Son. Like, who is God the Son? I wanted to understand why it had to take 3 days for the sun to set before a sun could rise. I said I wanted to understand why it had to take 3 days for the sun to set before a sun could rise. See, I was this inquisitive till I had a taste of it, till I had a glimpse of it. I said I used to love films, but now it seems I love the screams from the blue ones more. I was addicted. I was afflicted to what most of you call pornography, to what most of you call porn, to what some of you still call fun. It had me in pleasurable cuffs. It made my spiritual life to have so many slopes and so many cuffs. I was confused, but still confused. I said I was confused, but still confused. It became my everyday meal. It became my daily bread. It couldn't kill me once, it had to kill me every day. It gave me a daily death, and each daily breath taken in reminded me of how sin did a breaking in and tore me away from God. Because the devil thought that if I was torn from God and his word, then salvation might come late. But see, he lied. If salvation is judged by law and not by grace, then did Jesus Christ come to die in vain? Freely we didn't give, but freely we've received. Freely we didn't give, but freely we've received. But how could I know this? I couldn't listen. I was too busy celebrating this earthly freedom. I said I couldn't listen. Too busy celebrating the earthly freedom. I didn't know deep down I was still in prison. I said I couldn't listen. Still too busy celebrating the earthly freedom. I didn't know deep down I was still in prison. And all the while, all he has been saying is, hello, it is me. I've been knocking since you were 6 years ago. I consistently and persistently followed you, but you kept on pushing me away. You tried to run away from my own way till you entered into the wrong way. You didn't know I was the only way, the only truth, and the only life. Only through me can you attain eternal life. But you left this life for strife. You chose to connive with him, to cut with the knife this love for which I survive. You chose to connive with him, to cut with the knife this love for which I survive. But how could she know this? She couldn't listen. She was too busy making up her face instead of making up her mind to serve him. Too busy applying different foundations on her face instead of building foundations meant to beget her grace. She was too busy applying different foundations on her face instead of building foundations meant to beget her grace. And the fellowship she attended on campus kept on telling her, we know how to cover your sin. But see, it's a makeup artist and not a pastor. If all it teaches you is how to cover your sin and not how to cleanse your sin. I said he's a makeup artist and not a pastor. If all it teaches you is how to cover your sin and not how to cleanse your sin. How could we all know this? We couldn't listen when he was at our bedside screaming, where art thou? I said we couldn't listen. We are too busy spending our quiet time on our phones. And see, it's funny how our phones can connect us to the internet but disconnect us from God. I said it's funny how our phones can connect us to the internet but disconnect us from God. So we are connected to the device but disconnected from the divine. We are connected to the device but disconnected from the divine. 4 times, 40 times he called us, but we couldn't listen. We were too busy celebrating the earthly freedom. We didn't know we were still in prison. 4 times, 40 times they called us, but we couldn't listen. We were too busy celebrating the earthly freedom. We didn't know we were still in prison. But if you are listening to this now and you are making up your mind to surrender all to Him, just say this: I lay my pride for it to die. I lay the fun to become your son. I lay my maternal and paternal strife to embrace this eternal life. I lay my wills on your altar for it to be slaughtered. I lay myself on your shelf for you to put yourself in me. I lay my songs for you to write. I lay my wrongs for you to right. I lay my wars for you to fight. I lay my tongue for you to ignite. I want to be dead to death, and I want to be dead to life. I said I want to be dead to death, and I want to be dead to life.
Trade these ashes in for beauty, and wear forgiveness like a crown. Coming to kiss the feet of mercy, and I lay every burden down, and I lay